What's up everyone, my name is Prema. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm shooting this video on Makara Sankranti, which is the day the sun begins its journey toward the north, and this is considered an auspicious day for a new beginning. So I wanted to talk about the future of this channel, some personal things going on, and bullet journaling and goal setting. So I will add timestamps in the description box if you don't want to watch the whole video, and you can click around to whatever you like. First, let's talk about the future of this channel. First of all, we have hit over 500 subscribers. So thank you to everyone who subscribed, whether you've recently subscribed or you've been here since the beginning or anywhere along the way, for liking, sharing, commenting, all of your kind words. It means a lot to me and it helps this channel so much. And it seems that we really like reaction videos. That's where I get the most feedback from. So I think we'll keep going with that. However, I would like the topics to take a slight shift this year in 2026, because we've been having a lot of fun talking about devotees and how we do crazy things and people in our community and that kind of stuff. But I really want to appeal to a wider audience and not just stay within our little bubble, and talk more about mainstream stuff happening in the world today and try to give it like a Krishna conscious perspective from my perspective. Another thing that's going on with this channel is that I've opened a Ko-fi account. Ko-fi is a platform where you can support your favorite content creators by giving a donation. I've created a 2-tier membership. So if you've got a couple extra bucks you want to toss my way, I would really appreciate it. The first tier is just $1 a month. And at this tier, you can see whatever we post on our Ko-fi page, and you can watch YouTube videos 24 hours before I post it publicly. Tier 2 is a $5 a month membership. At this tier, you'll get all the benefits of Tier 1, and we will post 2 exclusive videos that won't be available on YouTube. And it could be anything. It could be an extended cut from our reaction videos. It could be blooper reels. It could be a vlog. Maybe we'll go to a temple or do something interesting like that. I've always wanted to do movie reviews of Bollywood movies, so I've been kind of toying with that idea. But we will maintain on the YouTube channel 2 free videos every month. So you can look forward to 2 videos on the YouTube channel. And if you do the $5 a month membership, you'll get 2 additional videos. So I think it's a pretty good deal, and we'll have fun and hang out together there. There's another option on our account where if you'd like to give us a tip, you're welcome to give a donation in any amount in the tip section. I'll put a link in the description box as well as pin it in the comments so you can check it out if you're interested. Last year we shot the pilot episode for my comedy series Ocean of Prema. It was a lot of fun, it was a lot of work, and a lot of learning. So big announcement, I will be posting the trailer for Ocean of Prema at the end of this week. I believe Saturday we have it planned. And other part of that announcement, we're posting the whole pilot at the end of this month. So please look out for it, share it, get excited for it, leave the comments, and do all the things and whatever. And I hope you enjoy. I have written 7 more episodes for this season of the series, and I want to do it right, so I am asking for a donation of $5,000, which is actually not a lot for an entire season of a show. So if you like what you see, if you're inspired by the trailer or you watch the pilot and you're like, I gotta see more of this, and you want to give any amount, feel free to leave a tip in that Ko-fi account. It's $5,000 because I gotta pay the cast. I want to do it right, you know. I don't want to just depend on the kindness of my friends and all these talented people. I have to pay the cast, I have to pay the crew, I have to rent equipment, prasadam, because shooting is an all-day process. It's not a few minutes. Oh yeah, and I need a new laptop because my old laptop like exploded when I tried to edit the pilot. So now it doesn't work anymore, and I really need a new one that actually works. So I would really like some donations for that. So if you see any potential in this crazy idea that I have, and you have some extra money and you think this is a worthwhile endeavor, I encourage you again, please donate at the Ko-Fi account. Or if you want to give the money in a different way, or you want more information, please send me an email to the business address in the description box, and I will be sure to check it out and communicate with you about that. So that's kind of it for the channel. That was my big channel announcement. Let's talk about my personal life. 2025 has actually been a great year. I am so blessed to have the friends that I have who took a chance on shooting the pilot, Ocean of Prema, and really worked hard on it and gave it their all. So I appreciate them for that. So we started the year off that way. Then throughout the year, we did lots and lots and lots and lots of dramas for Radha Madhava and Panchatattva. So I was super busy doing all that stuff. Toward the end of the year, Padmavati and I decided to spend fall and part of winter in Minnesota with our family. While we were there, we made like a quick trip to Orlando, and we had a blast at Disney and Universal Studios. She got to see lots of princesses, and we did a few rides, and we had a great time.
Be brave, true, and selfless, and all your wishes may come true.
Right after that, it was Halloween. Padma dressed up. This was her idea, by the way. She did not want to be anything except this. She had her heart and mind and soul set on this. She wanted to be a zombie princess, and zombie princess is what she was. And she collected way too much candy. In November, I turned 40. I know I don't look it, but I am 40. This I call my bog witch era. I have a cauldron. I live inside a tree by a swamp. I require eye of newt and toe of frog for my witch's brew. If you see me flying in the sky on a witch's broom, you didn't. Don't worry about it. Don't think about it. After that, I had my annual checkup. I did some blood work. I was probably super stressed out in 2025 because my thyroid was way out of control. You know, thyroid is linked to stress, and I was really stressed out. So my thyroid was really bad. And when you turn 40, you do a mammogram. And when they did the mammogram, they found a lump. So that gave me a lot of worry at the time. I really wanted to just be like, hey, can we just forget that I did a mammogram and never talk about it or think about it or do anything about it ever again? But anyway, I decided to kind of go through all the tests, and they did a biopsy, and thankfully it's not cancer. I'm okay. I gotta make sure to do a mammogram every year though, to make sure it stays okay. By the way, everyone at the clinic was so nice. Like, they were so funny and sweet and kind. I'm talking doctors, nurses, technician, like every single person. Would I recommend having a lump? No. But would I recommend this clinic? Yes. Anyway, so I feel like this year I need to take it easy. I have this terrible habit. If I have 10 hours in a day, I will put 12 hours of service. I can't say no to things. I always say yes. I try to fit it in. I'm like, well, if I don't sleep on Tuesday, I can maybe get this thing done or whatever. I don't want to disappoint people. So I have a terrible habit of saying yes to everything, and I really shouldn't. And I need to take it easy, be more serious about my health and wellness, eat better, exercise. I gotta meditate and keep my stress levels low. So while all this stuff was going on, I found out that one of my first mentors in Krishna consciousness was sick, and she actually left her body at her Guru Maharaj's Mahasamadhi in Rajkot. Her Grace Anasuya Devidasi was a wonderful devotee, kind, beautiful, intelligent. When I think of her, I always see her smiling, and she's just a very cheerful person. I just, I remember being young and just hanging out at their house and reading Bhagavatam under this massive tree they had in their backyard. And it was like the most perfect days, I was really fortunate to have her association in the formative years of my devotional life. So I prayed to her that she can watch over me in my devotional journey. And I'm sure she's with her guru and with Krishna now. So anyway, toward the end of my trip, just as I was leaving Minnesota to come back to Mayapur, ice raids started ramping up in Minnesota. And it was specifically targeting my hometown where I was staying in Minneapolis. And they're basically just targeting anyone with black and brown skin, regardless of their immigration status. And they've given themselves, because they've been empowered by the federal government, free reign to do whatever they want, to whoever they want, however they want, without any repercussion at all whatsoever. And it's sad and it's sick and it like freaks me out, because I know that this is just the beginning of something much worse. I can feel it in my blood. It's scary. And it's also scary because it feels like there's nothing we can really do. It's just sad and devastating. And it's scary. It's scary what a country can be capable of to its own citizens. And we're starting to see the beginnings of that right now and taking it out on Minnesota. But I have faith in Minnesotans, and Minnesotans are good people. I love living there, Minnesotans are strong, and much like a Minnesota winter, they are going to brave the storm. I have faith in Minnesota residents. My heart and my prayers are always with them. So that's kind of what's going on in my life right now. And now I want to talk about my plans for 2026. So as you guys know, if you haven't seen my video from, I think it's been like 2 years, I'm an avid bullet journaler. I stand behind bullet journaling. I've been doing it for 10 years now. And am I the most organized person? No. But am I more organized than I would have been if I didn't have one? Yes, absolutely. So my goal this year with my bullet journal is I'm going to stick to being more minimalistic. I mean, it was always minimalistic, but one thing I've noticed about myself is I never flip back in my pages. I always look ahead, but I never look back and do like trackers. People have these like habit trackers and they flip back and they're like, did I drink enough water today? Did I do my yoga today? I don't do any of that stuff. I never remember to flip back. I don't know why. I just don't. And here's the thing with a bullet journal. It's not that your bullet journal is here and you're here and you've got to struggle to meet your bullet journal. Your bullet journal has to come and meet you. If the habit tracker doesn't work, don't do habit tracking. The end. For me, keeping a habit tracker didn't work. Okay. I kept I've been doing it for years. Been trying it. Doesn't work. Something else that I do that does work for me, for some reason, I keep my monthly calendar separate from my regular bullet journal. I don't know if anybody else is like this. I know I'm crazy, but sometimes I'll see a book at the store and I feel like I have to rescue the book. Does this happen to anybody else? Or am I just weird? Because I saw this calendar at Target, when did I get this? In 2021. And I was like, I have to rescue this book. I have to get it. So basically the layout, it's got let me show you a blank page here. But see, it's got these blank pages, right? And you can just fill in the month yourself. And this has helped me more than actually writing the month in the book. For some reason, I don't know. I don't like to turn back in my journal, but I will pick up another book and reference the month, the calendar in that book. And that's been really helpful. So I have I need the monthly calendar so that I can kind of look at the whole you know, what the plans are for the month and how to schedule my days. So I've got that. Another thing that doesn't work for me in the bullet journal, japa tracker. I have a japa tracker where I write down every day, like how many rounds I did, if I did my Gayatri or not. I maybe wrote in it like 3 times. And I mean, I guess if you're a person that's very consistent with their rounds, they don't need it, but I really need it because I'm not very consistent with my rounds. And I like to know how many rounds I chant, like why I didn't chant that day or whatever. So I had this idea. I had this moleskin notebook that I bought a few years ago because I wanted to try affirmations and it didn't work. Whatever. Anyways, that's beside the point. So I bought this and I was like, oh, this is great because look, here's my japa and it fits right inside here perfectly. And it's just a tiny little thing. Or if I had a japa bag with a pocket, I'm sure it'll go in the pocket too, but it's perfect. It's just a tiny little book. And when I'm done with my rounds or I'm done with my Gayatri, I can mark it. See? Here's the Maha Mantra because I like to read the Maha Mantra when I chant. I don't know if you can read that. And I wasn't very good this month because of the traveling and adjusting the time and whatever. So, but you can see the month is there. And then on each day I can cross off like one tick is rounds and the other tick is Gayatri. So, and then I'll fill out in the bottom like what I need to improve on or what my focus was that month or on any particular day, just any notes that I had. So we'll see if this works. I will update you. If it works, I'm keeping it up. I'm going to keep doing it. If it doesn't, we toss it, right? Or we try it for another year and then we toss it. Some things I am keeping in my bullet journal. I like to put my goals for the year at the very beginning. So that stayed the same. I didn't make it fancy or anything like I did in the past. My goals are always spirituality, career, health. And then I give some details about how I want to improve spiritually, how I want to improve in my career, how I want to improve in my health. And I find this layout to be probably the best weekly layout I've ever done so far. So you can see it here. So we can see on one side, I've just got like a running to-do list and I've got like each of the goals right here and like everything that I need to do to achieve the goals. And then there's like daily to-do list on the bottom. And then on the top here is like what do you call it? Like a time schedule. So I've got starting at 4 a.m., ending at 11 p.m. And like I try to fit in my day. Haven't been good at it this week. Again, we're like still adjusting. We just came back on Friday. So this week is not perfect. But I find this helpful because it kind of gives me an idea of how long I expect to work on certain things and how to fit in certain things that I want to do in my day without freaking out too much about it. So I find this very helpful to set up my week this way. So you can give that a try. Oh, one other thing that I'm trying, Bhagavad Gita tracker. I have said this many, many times. If you start at the beginning of the year, you read 2 verses a day of Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita has 700 verses. You will finish Bhagavad Gita by the end of the year. I stand by this. I've been doing this for a long time. I've been doing this for years, but I wanted to do something different this year. And I wanted to go a little deeper with my Bhagavad Gita reading. And see if I can get a little bit more out of it. I have done Bhakti Shastri, but it's not like, when it comes to like Shastra, it shouldn't be like, I finished the book, throw it away, it needs to be consistent, systematic study. So last year I spent looking at Bible studies, like how people do Bible study. I never felt very comfortable like writing in the book because it's like Shastra. They say Bhagavatam is non-different from Krishna. So like to be writing all over Krishna and doing little doodles and stuff weirds me out a little bit. So in my bullet journal, I'm making a little section. Like I'm splitting the page in half. So it's like I write things on the top half about my day. And then the bottom half, I'm doing my Bhagavad Gita study. And this one is called, and I'm doing it based on the SOAP method. There's many different kinds of Bible studies. There's like soap, there's soil, there's AEIOU. I think there's one called Amen, maybe. There's many different things, but this one appealed to me the most because, like I said, I'm not like writing a dissertation on every verse. I just wanted something that I can like taste a little bit and keep with me throughout the day. So the SOAP method is scripture, observation, application, and prayer. So first thing you do is you write down the scripture, you write down the shastra, you write down the verse. Second is observation. What are things that stood out to you in that verse, or what are key elements of the verse, key words, key names, places, that kind of stuff. Application, like what does it mean to you in your daily life when you look at this verse? And prayer. Is there a prayer that you can talk to Krishna about that's related to this verse? So I thought that was an interesting and personal way to read the Bhagavad Gita. I'm going to give it a try this year, and I'll let you know if it works or what. So instead of it taking 1 year, I'm going to do one verse a day. And instead of it taking 1 year for me to read the whole Bhagavad Gita, it's going to take 2. But I'm okay with that if it means that my reading of Bhagavad Gita is going to be a little bit deeper. And the last thing that I'm trying this year is a vision board. I've always wanted to do a vision board. I always thought it was a cool idea, but I tend to overthink things and overanalyze things, watch too many videos about it, and then I get really confused. And then I'm like, forget it, I'm not doing it this year. I did make a vision board in like 2022, and it was like, it didn't make any sense. It was like 4 pictures. It was like, you own the property next to my house, make $1 million, have 1 million subscribers on YouTube, and like no plan to get there. It was just those pictures. So, and then my mind started to ignore the pictures. So like I never even looked at the vision board. But a friend and former student of mine, Leela Nanda, on Instagram, inspired me when she made a reel about her vision board, and she sort of explained like what she puts on it and how she does it, and she challenged me to do it. So I was like, okay, so you can check out my vision board here. See 2026 I put at the top, and my mantra, I don't want to say mantra, it's not a mantra, and my phrase for this year is done is better than perfect. I have a very horrible perfectionist habit, and I see it in my daughter too, and I'm trying to get her away from that, where I will never, ever, I won't turn in something unless it's perfect, unless it's exactly what I want, how I want it, where I want it, when I want it, and then it never gets done, and no one ever sees it. That's kind of what's happening to me right now with Ocean of Prema, with my pilot, because it's not exactly what I had in my mind. And there are things that could be better, but I'm kind of trying to learn to let go of that and just be okay with what it is, because it's good. It's good. It's like 80% of what I want, you know? So done is better than perfect. And I split it up into my categories: spirituality, career, health. And in the spirituality section, there's like pictures of my Guru Maharaj, there's pictures of Prabhupada, and things that inspire me about that, about chanting. See, I want to work, you see, and here I want to work on my chanting. I want to listen to more classes. I want to study Bhagavad Gita. I want to go to Guru Maharaj's Samadhi more often. For my career, I put the Kofi. I put Ko-fi. I would love to be monetized this year on YouTube. I put our picture of Ocean of Prema on there because that's really important to me. And I really need to hit that $5,000 goal in order for Ocean of Prema to work. And then next to it, I put health. And I really need to lose weight this year, but I can't stress myself out with the weight loss. I need to be gentle with the weight loss too. So I put like a before and after picture that I had from a few years ago. I'd like to get into doing more yoga. I'd like to bicycle and walk more. I want to get back into doing Odissi dance. I want to be healthy enough to do that. I want to do more meditation. So I'm hoping that this works. Leela Nanda says that it works. She says many of the things that she puts in her vision board come true. So maybe this is how to do it. I don't know. I'll let you know if it all comes to fruition. And also check out Leelananda on Instagram. She makes really cute reels. She is a flight attendant for Emirates Airways. And once again, proving my theory that they only hire beautiful people. Every time I've flown Emirates, everybody is gorgeous. The men are gorgeous. The women are gorgeous. Leelananda is gorgeous. And she works for Emirates. Not disproving it. Not disproving my theory. All right. I think that's all I got for you today. So happy Makar Sankranti. Do new things today. Have a great day. As always, like, share, subscribe. Be good to each other and be good to yourselves. And thank you for being damn good. Bye.